I want to start from the very beginning. Your parents were married, they were living in NDG?
Yes.
And you were born in NDG?
Yes, it was. It was after the war, and both my parents had gone through a depression. They couldn't get married to the later 30s, and my dad was 10 years older than Mom, and anyway, had my sister and I, and so we moved out to Valois.
So let me show you a map that we have. This is 1947.
Okay, yeah, so it was all fields.
So you said that you used to go all the way up Broadview here, and there was a forest up top or something?
Yes, and I went and picked violets and things that weren't supposed to pick. We'd ride our bikes.
It's okay to say it now.
Yeah. And then in the 50s, there was a plane crash. It crashed in the woods, and so we rode up there, and I mean, it was a novelty, and but the police workers kept us all around, away from the actual site. The houses on Pointe-Claire were built by McGill, the developer, and we had his home that he had intended to use for his family, and the walls were all plaster, and we had extra fancy black and white tile in the bathroom, and there were 36 houses, and
do you remember which one of these could have been yours?
Well,
if this is Belmont here,
I think we're here 14. When I moved, there was Parkdale, Broadview, Cool Breeze, and then St. Louis.
Here's Cool Breeze.
Yeah,
here.
Cool Breeze.
These were farms, or what was this? Nothing?
We used to toboggan and slide there. There were hills, and there was a creek that ran through it, and sometimes in the spring you had to walk over a log, and of course I was frightened to do that. We used to play out there, and my mother had a horn to blow us she'd blow to come in, and but we found loot there.
It's the Lone Ranger.
Yeah, she'd blow this horn. Often we'd run in for supper, we'd have supper, and then we'd go back out and play, and you came in when the streetlights went on.
So was there streetlights?
Yep, sparse,
all in this area?
but this was a sort of scary, area,
Scary.
Well,
because you were young.
You were young,
Just 'cause
and
you were
you
young.
didn't want to go too late at night. But one time we saw flashlights there in the back forest.
Which forest?
Not forest, but the area. There were, trees, and anyway, we found a stash of stolen goods. So they had been hiding it there, and
in this area here.
Yep.
So you moved here, and by the time you moved here, not St. John Fisher, but Valois Park Elementary was already open?
No. I started off my grade 1 year. Moving day was traditionally May 1st always, so we moved May 1st. I had been in kindergarten at Herbert Simons in Montreal, but we had no kindergarten. So I started grade 1, Miss Moore, over on Prince Edward.
Over on Prince Edward.
The old school.
Here. And
Yes.
do you remember the year that would have been?
Is 1950.
The 50-51.
50-51 is in grade 1. And then in the new year, we walked over. We had to carry our chairs and our crayon bag. Yeah, we carried our chairs over the little pathway and into the school.
The first year that the new building was open.
Yeah.
So the students are coming back. You go back to the old building.
School.
You get your chairs.
Well, when it was time to move,
help with the
and
move.
my teacher was Miss Moore. We were all frightened of her. She was, bear in mind we were smaller then, but she was over 6 foot, and she had served in the military, and she was very strict. She had lace-up brown Oxfords with a heel, and she wore suits.
Sounds like something out of Montgomery's book.
And she was very strict. So I remember we walked over and we got this new classroom. I think it was room 2 because I went back and taught in room 2. And I remember there was a mouse running around the classroom. And
in the brand new school?
In the brand new school, in the brand new classroom. And of course we all giggled. Well, and she yelled at this kid, Jimmy Riddle, Jimmy, get the mouse.
And eat it.
And then he ran after it, and we all stood there in amazement. Well, of course, he couldn't catch it. And I thought, why am I so frightened of this woman? I'm not scared of a mouse, and she's scared of a mouse. And so it changed, but I remember we all had the teachers for lunch in those days, and Miss Moore came for lunch, and I was nervous, and I spilt my milk.
What do you mean, at your house?
Yeah, because we had an hour and a half for lunch. We all went home for lunch. Nobody stayed for lunch.
And the teacher went to your house?
You're invited. Yes.
So the parents would invite the teacher?
teacher, that was the thing.
So
to
your
do.
mom would invite your teacher for lunch?
Lunch.
So when you move into Valois, commercially what you have is a little bit of what was Donegal, Valois
Yeah.
over here.
Yes,
Along the
like
tracks
there was
here?
Walter J. Cross, where I got my shoes, and then Templeton's was a clothing store. We used to go to the bowling alley down there. Mr. York ran the bowling alley.
That's where I'm going for my 6-year-old's birthday this weekend.
And then
How long has this place been open for?
ever.
Fantastic.
Okay.
This was great.
Right? Yeah.